shall I say, performance at the Super Bowl. One of the cool things that I think that he pointed out, he said, yes, this is 30 years in the making. He said he really wants to emulate Michael Jackson, arguably the best to ever do it, and said that he cannot wait to hit the stage. Of course, when you hit the stage at the Super Bowl, you got to have plenty of confidence. Usher has that. Not only that, but my next guest has plenty of confidence as well. Why? Well, you're about to find out. I'm pleased to say that I'm joined by none other than Renée Marino, of course, TEDx speaker, confidence and connection expert, and kind enough to join me right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Hi, friend.
Hi, my friend. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you as well. I had the opportunity to do Lion Lunch Hour right here on Fox 5 with you. And I got to tell you, you know, it's one thing when you meet someone, but I met you and immediately your spirit is just so warm and welcoming. And I said, you know what? I got to get her on the Fox 5 Live Zone.
That means so much to me. I felt the same way, Guy. I had the best time with you, and I was like, I feel like we've known each other forever, and those are always the people that I want to surround myself with in my life.
Hey, maybe we had a past life. We bumped into each other. Who knows?
Yes, yes.
I want you to talk about this because this is just so cool. And I think so many people struggle with this, and that is the power or the ability to speak up and speak up for yourself. You, in essence, are an expert with regard to that, and have come here to share some tips about what folks at home can do just to do that.
Yes, guys, speaking up can feel really intimidating, but when we start to understand that speaking up is our superpower, then we open up the door to limitless opportunities. And speaking up is just about whether sharing your thoughts or opinions or addressing something you're uncomfortable with or asking for what you want. And when I was a professional actress for many years on Broadway and filming TV, I gained one of the greatest opportunities of my life playing the role of Frankie Valli's wife, Mary Delgado, in Clint Eastwood's Jersey Boys film. And that only came about, Guy, because I spoke up in the audition room. So for those of you watching, I want you to know you are not alone if it feels scary, and it takes practice. Just like anything that's worth doing, it takes practice.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you hit that right on the head, the nail that is. And that is that whole practice aspect of it all, because so many folks just think that, you know, you're supposed to wake up and be able to do something. I guess with the practice portion, that means you have to be somewhat vulnerable because you're not necessarily going to, you know, hit a home run the first time you do it.
Yes, absolutely. And I want you to understand that you are not alone in feeling like this may be scary. Just because it's not natural to you does not mean it can't be learned. And here's 5 simple steps to start practicing speaking up. Number 1, identify what you want to speak up about and why. See, the why is that magic ingredient that gives you that gentle nudge of courage when you feel afraid. Step 2, write it all down on a piece of paper, do a brain dump, and then read it back over and trim the fat, if you will. Create clear bullets of the things that you want to say to that person or people. Step 3, verbalize it aloud in a room by yourself. Why verbalize? Because when we verbalize, we magnify and maximize what we're saying, allowing us to hear if our tone matches our intention. Ooh, that's a big one, right? We want to make sure we're speaking up from a place of love and grace and kindness. The next step, reach out to that person or people via what I call new school technology, text or email, and say, hey, I'd love for you to give me some times you're available so we can connect and talk in person. And then step 5, talk from the heart, my friends. Understand it's not about perfection. It's about connection. And as long as you're speaking up from a place of love and grace and kindness, you open that door to a two-way conversation to be had.
Yeah, obviously you have been very successful at this, and I appreciate you sharing those tips. I'm curious, as you have shared those tips with your clients as well, out of all those you just made mention of, what do you find that folks struggle with the most?
Is step 1, identifying what they want to speak up about and why. Sometimes we go off of emotion, right? And maybe we're frustrated, we're angry, we're like, oh, I'm going to talk to the guy, I'm going to tell him how I feel. But we need to sit back, give ourselves that power of the pause and say, okay, what do I want to say to Guy and why do I want to say it? Do I want to say it just from ego to prove that I'm right? Or do I need to speak up? Because if I don't speak up, I'm going to live a life of regret. So that's really the part that people struggle with the most. But once you have those 2 answers, the rest is easy.
Hey, you touched on a word that all of us happen to deal with at some time or another, and that is ego. And so I'm so
Mm.
curious, with that being said, one being confident can come across as one having an ego. Is that not the case?
Yeah, that's why step one of what I call my 7 step connect method, which is the method to help use communication to create genuine connections in your life. Because those connections, Guy, lead to limitless opportunities because it always starts with how we connect with each other. Step one of that method is communication with self, getting in connection with yourself first and foremost to get clear about what your dreams are, what your struggles are, and to understand when I say this or when I do this, am I doing it from a place of authenticity or from a place of ego and needing to prove myself? We only know that when we've taken the time to wake up in the morning instead of rolling over to grab our smartphones. Instead, leave those devices aside and ask yourself, how am I feeling? Then take 5 to 10 minutes and put pen to paper to answer that.
Yeah, in your case, the proof is in the pudding. A little birdie whispered in my ear that recently you were featured in Success magazine, and that happened to be something that was so important to you.
Oh, it's such a dream. I can't believe it. It just recently came out and it's extra special, Guy, because it's the trailblazing women issue, really celebrating women and how they're doing beautiful work in the world. So I'm so deeply honored, especially to be in a magazine with so many women that I look up to and admire. And it just really is such a testament to practicing what I preach. I don't talk about this 7 step connect method because I'm like, oh, this is a good method to share. It's what I have practiced continually in my life as a professional actress, now as an international speaker and author.
Yeah, and you're taking the show on the road. Something about the Aspire tour in Dallas?
Yes, yes, and another incredible, beautiful experience. I was asked to be one of the speakers for the Aspire tour, which is the greatest event to inspire growth in people financially, professionally, personally. I get to share the stage with people like Marcus Lemonis, David Goggins, Mark Cuban, and so many others. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's happening February 22nd in Dallas, and you can check it out, aspiretour.com. It's going to be really special.
Well, I got to tell you, because of you, I feel more confident already, and always put a smile on
Woohoo!
my face when I get a chance to see Renee Marino. Truly a pleasure to have you right here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Don't be a stranger. Next time you're in D.C., make sure you stop by.
Oh, I sure will. Love spending time with you whenever I can. Thank you, Guy.
All right, how cool is that, guys? I don't know about you. My confidence has been boosted. Hopefully yours as well. Stick around, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're talking Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's awareness. Yes, the 100 Black Men Prince George's County chapter will tell you what they plan to do to bring more awareness right here in our area. We'll be right back.